Hi, I'm Nora. After 5 years of what I thought was marital bliss with my husband Derek, I never imagined I'd be telling this story. We met at a friend's housewarming party, and it was like something out of those cheesy rom-coms instant chemistry, laughing at the same jokes, finishing each other's sentences. 2 years later, we were saying I do on a perfect spring day. Babe, don't forget we have dinner with the Millers next Thursday. Jim's been asking about that golf weekend you guys planned. Yeah, got it. Work's been crazy lately. These clients are killing me with these deadlines. That was our typical conversation these days. Short, distracted, with Derek always checking his phone. I'd made senior marketing executive at Reynolds and Partners last year, which meant longer hours but also a substantial pay bump. We'd been saving for a down payment on a house in the suburbs. At least, that was the plan. Working late again tonight? Quarterly reports? Victor's breathing down everyone's neck? Derek's job as a financial advisor at Morgan and Priest meant occasional late nights. But lately, they'd become the norm rather than the exception. 3, sometimes 4 nights a week, he'd come home smelling like expensive perfume. Office parties, he'd say. Rachel called earlier. She's thinking of visiting next month. Your sister? Cool. Whatever works. My sister Rachel had always been skeptical of Derek. There's something off about him, she'd say. I'd defend him fiercely back then. The signs were subtle at first. Password changes on his phone. Hushed conversations that ended abruptly when I entered the room. Unexplained expenses on our joint credit card at restaurants I'd never heard of. Who's Melissa? Just a new colleague. Why? Her name keeps popping up in your texts. Jesus, are you spying on me now? She's helping with the Brightwood account. That's it. I'd seen him texting late at night, smiling at his screen in a way he rarely smiled at me anymore. Jack invited us to his promotion party this weekend. Your college buddy? I've got that thing with work. You should go, though. Jack had been my friend since freshman year of college. Derek had always seemed jealous of our friendship, but lately he couldn't care less about who I spent time with. After talking with Jack last week, an idea formed. A test. Simple, but potentially revealing. Hey, can we talk? Something happened at work today? Derek barely looked up from his phone. What's up? I got fired. That got his attention. His eyes widened, phone forgotten momentarily. What? How? Why? Budget cuts. They eliminated my entire department. I watched his face carefully. Shock, yes, but something else flickered behind his eyes. Calculation? Wow, we should talk about this. What about your savings, the house fund? Before I could answer, his phone buzzed. He glanced at it quickly. I need to take this. Work stuff. I'll grab some water, I said, stepping toward the kitchen, but stopping just out of sight in the hallway. Hey, Melissa, you won't believe what just happened, Derek whispered excitedly into his phone. I froze in the hallway, gripping the wall to steady myself, as Derek's excited voice carried through the air. She just told me she got fired! This is perfect timing! We won't even have to come up with an excuse to access her savings! My stomach dropped as I strained to hear more. I know, Melissa. This makes everything so much easier. She's got almost $100,000 in her personal account. Once we get that, plus what I've already moved, we'll have enough startup capital. A pause. I could hear him pacing. Of course she bought it. Why wouldn't she? She trusts me completely. His laugh made my blood run cold. No, she has no idea about us. None. Another pause. 2, maybe 3 weeks tops. I'll play the supportive husband. Suggest we use her savings temporarily while she job hunts. Once we have the money transferred, I'll break the news. By then, our LLC will be finalized. I slipped back toward the kitchen, grabbed a glass with trembling hands, and filled it with water. My mind raced while my heart shattered. 5 years of marriage. All a lie. When I returned to the living room, Derek had ended his call and was typing rapidly on his phone. Everything okay with work? I managed to keep my voice steady. Yeah, just some client drama. Listen, about your job. We'll figure it out together, okay? He reached for my hand with the same fingers that had just betrayed me. I'm going to take a bath. I needed to escape before I fell apart. Once locked in the bathroom, I texted Rachel. Emergency? Can you talk? My phone rang almost instantly. What's wrong? You never use the word emergency. Derek's cheating, planning to leave me, wants my savings. My words came out in broken gasps. That snake! I'm coming to get you right now! No, wait, I need to be smart about this. Can you call Jack? I think Derek's been accessing my accounts. 20 minutes later, while Derek watched TV downstairs, I was on a three-way call. Change all your passwords immediately. Jack's calm voice centered me. Use my password manager. I'm sending you a link. He mentioned an LLC they're forming. I'll run a background search. What's the other woman's name? Melissa, she works with him. Got it. I'll see what I can find. In the meantime, don't let him know you're suspicious. Rachel jumped in. My guest room is ready whenever you need it. Just say the word. After the call, I waited until Derek fell asleep. Then I searched his office. Nothing in the desk, nothing in the filing cabinet, but taped under the drawer a USB drive. I plugged it into my laptop, and my world collapsed further. Spreadsheets, account numbers, transfer records, screenshots of my investment portfolio. And there it was. A document showing recurring transfers from our joint account to an unknown account over the past 8 months. Small amounts at first, growing larger. The total made me sick. $47,000. At the bottom of the drive, a business plan. Apex Financial Solutions, Derek Williams and Melissa Carter, co-founders. And the cherry on top, a lease agreement for an apartment downtown. Start date, 3 months ago. I copied everything to my secure cloud drive that Jack had set up. Tomorrow, I'd call a lawyer. Tonight, I'd pretend my heart wasn't bleeding out in my chest. The next morning, I slid back into bed before Derek woke up. When his alarm went off, I played the part of the devastated, newly unemployed wife. Maybe today I'll update my resume. I stared blankly at my coffee. That's the spirit, babe. Something will come up soon. Derek kissed my forehead, his lips burning my skin like acid. After he left, I called my office. Hey, Mark, I need a few personal days. No problem, Nora. Everything okay? Just some family stuff. I'll be working remotely. Next stop, Derek's boss. I found Victor's number from a holiday party invitation. This is unexpected, Nora. What can I help you with? I've discovered some concerning information about Derek and Melissa that affects the firm. 2 hours later, I sat across from Victor in a private room at Westside Cafe, sliding copies of documents across the table. They're planning to poach your top clients. See these names? All marked as priority transfers to their new company. Victor's face darkened. These are my personal clients, some for over 15 years. There's more. They've been bad-mouthing you to clients, suggesting you're planning to retire. That explains the calls I've been getting. This is serious, Nora. I have a proposition. After leaving Victor, I met Jack at his cybersecurity office. I installed the monitoring software on your home network. Jack pulled up a dashboard on his computer. Every device, every connection, will see it all. Can you recover deleted messages? Already on it. His cloud backup wasn't secured properly. Jack grinned, typing rapidly. Rookie mistake. That evening, Rachel arrived with takeout and legal documents. My friend at the firm drew these up. Power of attorney revocation, account separation, everything you need. What if he notices the bank notifications? Already handled. They're being redirected to your new email. I'm scared, Rach. Don't be. You've got this. Remember what Dad always said. The best revenge is served on a platinum platter. The next day, I coincidentally bumped into Alyssa from the marketing department at the coffee shop. Nora, I thought you'd be at the office. Just taking some personal time. Hey, has anyone from a company called Apex Financial contacted you? Alyssa's expression shifted. How did you know? Your husband called last week asking about our client list, said you approved it. Did you give it to him? No way. That's confidential information. I told him he needed proper authorization. Perfect. I need a favor, a big one. By Friday, everything was in place. Victor had arranged the fake investor meeting at the firm's conference room. Jack had recovered all the incriminating messages and set up cameras. Rachel had contacted the divorce attorney. and Alyssa had prepared a fake exclusive client list as bait. I watched Derek dress in his best suit that morning. Big meeting today? Yeah, potential investors. Could change everything. He straightened his tie, oblivious. Good luck? I smiled, knowing exactly what awaited him. My phone pinged. A text from Victor. Everyone's in position? Meeting in 2 hours? I replied. On my way. I arrived at Morgan and Priest 30 minutes early, slipping into Victor's office through the back entrance. Through the one-way glass, I could see Derek and Melissa setting up their presentation, arranging folders labeled Apex Financial Solutions around the conference table. They look confident. Victor handed me a coffee. Not for long. I checked my phone. Jack and Rachel just parked. Alyssa's already here with the documents. The fake investors, actually senior partners from the firm, entered the conference room. Derek turned on the charm instantly, shaking hands and making introductions. Melissa stood beside him, professional in her navy suit, completely unaware of what was about to happen. And as you can see from our projections, Apex Financial is positioned to capture a significant market share within the first year. Derek pointed to an impressive-looking graph. We already have commitments from several high-value clients currently underserved by outdated firms. These clients, Melissa added, represent over $50 million in managed assets. And thanks to our unique relationships, we have exclusive access to marketing resources that will give us an edge over competitors. One of the partners raised his hand. These marketing resources, they're secure? Absolutely. Derek smiled confidently. My wife works, or rather worked in marketing at Reynolds and Partners. We have full access to their client engagement strategies. That was my cue. I opened the door and walked in, followed by Victor, Alyssa, and 2 company lawyers. Derek's face drained of color. Nora? What are you— Surprise, honey. I didn't get fired. In fact, I just got promoted. This is a private meeting. Melissa's voice trembled slightly. Is it? Because you're discussing my company's proprietary information and claiming to have access you don't have. I placed a recorder on the table. And that's just the beginning. Victor stepped forward. We've been collecting evidence for weeks. Client poaching, false statements about company leadership, unauthorized access to confidential files. I clicked a remote, bringing the projector to life with images of Derek's financial records. You've been systematically stealing from our joint accounts, $47,000 so far. My lawyer has already filed the paperwork. Derek tried to regain composure. This is a misunderstanding. Is this also a misunderstanding? I played the recording of his conversation with Melissa after I told him I was fired. Derek lunged toward Jack, who had just entered. You helped her with this, didn't you? I warned you to stay out of my business. Are you threatening me again, Derek? Like these messages you sent last month? Jack passed copies of threatening texts to everyone in the room. Melissa suddenly backed away from Derek. I had no idea about the theft. He told me that was his personal money. Convenient timing, Melissa. But these emails show you discussed the funds explicitly. The senior partner stood. This meeting is over. Security will escort you both out. Your employment is terminated, effective immediately. 3 months later, I sat across from Rachel on her patio, champagne in hand. The divorce was finalized yesterday. He didn't contest anything after the evidence came out. And Melissa? Took a job in another state. Threw Derek under the bus completely during the investigation. And how's he doing? Rachel asked. Facing charges for the threats against Jack. Lost his financial licenses. Last I heard, he's working at his uncle's car dealership. And you? I smiled, looking at the sunset. Starting over. The promotion came with a raise. I'm closing on a condo next week. Just my name on the deed. 2 new beginnings. Rachel raised her glass. And to learning who you can really trust. What would you do if you were in Nora's position? Was her elaborate setup and public humiliation justified? Or do you think she went too far? Would you have confronted Derek privately instead? If you enjoyed this story of sweet revenge, hit that like button so more people can find it. And don't forget to subscribe for more dramatic stories that explore the darker side of relationships and the satisfaction of justice served. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Retry.